Bonjour, je suis Peter Martin, je suis de Hollande. Fin 18, j'ai gagné le deuxième prix de JoomlaDay France. Alors, mon français n'est pas bien, alors mon prestation est en anglais. So, thank you for being here. This is a presentation about how to make Joomla 4 easier for your customers. This presentation will be online after this presentation. And all the links, all the blue things are links. It's not really accessible. I don't know since yesterday. But the links are blue and you can click them to go to the certain pages. So the presentation will be on petermartin.nl. In this presentation, I will show you four parts where you can make Joomla easier. And I will also do a live demo. So, if I think about making things easier, it's about limiting choices. And this is one of my favorite books about usability. It's from Steve Crook. Don't Make Me Think, you probably have heard of it. My favorite chapter is omit needless words. And needless is crossed out, so it's omit words. So, reduce everything. This presentation and the demo will be about a fictional company called Initech. People who know the movie Office Space, which is one of my favorites, will recognize stuff of it. And let's assume that this office of this company has a department, a marketing department. And the marketing department, they called me and they asked me if I could maximize their administrator experience in order to optimize their marketing efforts with minimum maintenance efforts, meaning could you make it easier? So what I did, I looked into four parts, the users, menus, dashboard and content. And let's start with the users. So Joomla 4 and even Joomla 3 has a really great user ACL stuff. So let's limit the choices for users. So I would like to create a marketing group, and people in the marketing department will be a group, and they will have limited choices. So not all the choices that we have, but only the things they need. So I will create a user group. I will create a viewing access level called marketing level, and I will set some permissions for them. They should be able to log in into the backend. They should be able to create articles, but only in the categories, in the category news. And they should be able to redirect faulty links. So I would like to give them permission to manage the redirects in Joomla, because it's 404 errors are not nice, and the marketing department can be in charge of that. So let's start with the user groups. In Joomla, when you want to do something with user groups, you click on users, manage, and in this case new. And I created a new user group called marketing group. And now you have a choice about the group parent. There are people who prefer to use the group parent registered because it's so easy, because then you already have a lot of things configured for you. I'm a Linux guy. I like to have as little as possible and only to install and give permissions for the things I need. So I prefer and I recommend to start with the permissions level public. Now I have a new marketing group. It's called marketing. It's assigned under public. The next thing I want to do is to create viewing access levels. So a viewing access level in Joomla is what someone from a certain user group can see on a certain page in Joomla. And to do this, you go to users, access level, and create a new one. And I created a new one called marketing level. And in real life, I would not call it marketing level, but I just called it marketing level, especially with the word level. So it's easy to see what I'm doing. The marketing level, viewing access level, will be assigned to the marketing group. So on the second tab, I assign marketing group to this view. Now the final part, let's do something with the permissions in Joomla. So the permissions in Joomla, I just explained the viewing access levels, which is what people can see. And the permissions, the ACL, the access control list, is what people can do. So what can someone from a certain group, in this case the marketing group, do in a certain component that I specify. So in Joomla, I would like to do 4 things with the ACL. The marketing group should be able to log into the backend. They should be able to manage content, manage categories, and manage redirects. So first is to go into the permissions. In this case, I go to System, Global Configuration, and then I choose Permissions, which is the last tab. And then I go to in the list to the marketing group, and I choose the administrator login allowed. I don't do anything else. Only marketing level, marketing group should be allowed to log in into the administrator. They can't do anything yet. And the next thing, I would like them to give permission to manage some content. So in content, I go to articles and then options. And then again, at the last tab, you have permissions. This one. And there I define that the marketing group can access the administrator interface. I don't do anything else. They just should be able to use content, but I don't specify what they can do besides administrator interface. I mean, if they give them create or delete stuff here, then they can do everything with content, but I want to limit it. So only administrator interface access allowed. The next thing is the categories. So in content categories, I go to the news category. I created a category called news, and in it there are also permissions. So the last step, permissions. Again, the marketing group, and now I do all actions are allowed. So they can do everything with the category and the articles that are in news. And finally, the redirects. So in redirects, I do system redirects, permissions, and I allow the marketing group to do everything except configure stuff. They don't need to configure it, they only need to use it. So now I have this, I need to create a new user. I have a user on the marketing department, his name is Mark Ting, and I would like to create a user for him, so I go to Users Manage New, and you've probably done it before. Good morning. So if Mark Ting logs in into the backend, he will see this. Toggle menu, and that's everything. He doesn't see anything else. That means there is no title and no toolbar. These are plugins, modules. So what you have to do, in Joomla, go to System, Administrator Modules, and duplicate 2 of those modules. You have to duplicate the title and the toolbar module. By default, the title module and also the toolbar module are assigned to the group special. If you are a super administrator in the group special, so you will see it. If you are in the marketing level, you're not in special, so you won't see those modules. So you have to duplicate them and assign them to marketing level, both. If you have done so, you can see the title and the toolbar when you are in stuff. But there is nothing here yet. I will come to that later. But first, what I just did, I created a user group called marketing group. I created a viewing access level called marketing level. And I gave permissions to the marketing group to a couple of areas, like login into the backend. They can manage articles in news and redirects. I like to do it manually, but if you have a really big website, then there is an extension called ACL Manager from Sander Potcher, which is a really nice plugin. It's a paid plugin, but it can help you manage the ACL in Joomla. So I just told you that marketing can log in. He doesn't have any menus. That's something I would like to show you now. So I would like to create an admin menu for the marketing department. And I have to create an admin menu module, and I create a couple of menu items in the backend. One should go to articles, and the other one should go to redirects. So the admin menu, in menus, you go to Manage, Administrator. So, and then you create a new menu called Marketing Menu. And now you have a choice. It says Preset, Content Dashboard. That's my choice. I don't want to do anything else. You can also do it without a preset and do everything manually yourself. I chose for the Content Dashboard because it's easy. Because I want to give them content, access to content, and a couple of other things. So, the other thing I have to do is I have to duplicate the administrator module because the one in Joomla is also assigned to special. So I duplicate it and I assign it to the marketing level. And I also want to have a dashboard in it. Oh, so on the menus, marketing menu, I choose content menus here. And I can maybe rename it if I like, but you can also keep it like that. So I created a dashboard, marketing dashboard. Sorry. What I do here in the content menus, I give a sort of label that I can use for the dashboard later. So at the bottom of the page, you can say dashboard, and I call it marketing dashboard. Space, but it doesn't complain, it just removes it. So now I go to the redirect. I also want to create a redirect to the component. I mean a menu item to the redirect component. So I went to menus, administrator, marketing menu, new. I created one for redirects. You cannot see it here, but I will show it in the demo. And I also created a link icon. I will show you that in a demo, how to do that. And finally now, marketing from the marketing department can log in into the backend, and he can access the content and the redirects, and also these nice tiles, which are dashboard tiles. If you click on it, you can see all the dashboard of content, and you can make them yourself. And that's I'm going to show you next. So in this menus, I created a marketing menu. I copied the admin menu and assigned it to marketing level, so it's visible. I created two links in the menu. One goes to articles, and the other one goes to the redirects. So now the third part, the dashboard. This is a new feature in Joomla 4, and it's nice. And what I do, I will create a dashboard to make it easier to go to things. So let's create a dashboard, and we add some admin modules for the marketing level. For instance, I would like to see them the latest articles from the category news. And I would like to create a custom module. So if they run into problems, they have my phone number and my email address at hand. So in content, admin modules, I just duplicate the recently added articles. I assigned it to the category news and assigned the cPanel marketing dashboard. And here you have to do this manually. So here where you can assign a position of a module, you just type in cPanel dash marketing dashboard. And then this module will be shown, displayed, on the marketing dashboard. I did the same for a custom module, and I just put some custom HTML in it, which shows support information. So the result for marketing, when he logs in from the marketing department, he sees content, redirects, and when you click on content, you can see the recently added news articles and support, so they can phone me if they still run into problems. So this is, if you want to read more about how to work with the dashboard, there is an interesting article in Joomla Community Magazine. It's in English. It's by Crystal Dionysopoulou, And it's in you can follow the link to find it. It's in February 2022. So now the final part, before I go to the demo, it's about content. Joomla has really a lot of options when you want to change articles or write articles. And I would like to simplify it by reducing choices. There are options in Joomla to hide some tabs. So you have maybe, there are a couple of tabs like images and links and parameters, publishing, etc. And a lot of those you can just disable if you want to. But if you do so, it's for everyone in the website disabled. Another thing is you could use a template override in the backend template. Joomla 4 has Autumn as a backend template. You can create a template override and just remove stuff that you don't want to show. Something else that I will show you in this presentation and the demo is a content plugin. That's something you can write yourself. And finally, there is an extension that I developed. I'm a co-developer. It's called D2 Profiles. I will show you a bit of it. So, easier content, via content, is show only what the user needs and hide what you don't need. So, if you go to the Joomla articles overview, you have a lot of information here. And if you select one of those and you want to create an article or edit an article, we have all these tabs here: content, images and links, options, publishing, etc. We have here a lot of choices, and I think it's about 76 or 78 different fields that you can select and change if you like. So it's a lot. And the template override. First, before I do the template override, I will hide some tabs. So if you go to content, articles, options, and then you can see it here, then you can custom. You can change everything you want. So it says publishing options, if it should show the publishing tab. Edit screen options, if it should show the configure edit screen. And multilingual associations, if you have a multilingual website, you can switch it off here. I don't switch it off, I like it. And yeah, so these you can just select. Then, if you look at create a template override, how to do? You go to Administrator Templates, Autumn, HTML, and there you put the override. In this case, I would like to override content, article, and then the edit.php. I copy this from Joomla, I put it in this folder, and then I can do what I want. I can remove some stuff, so it says somewhere Joomla edit global. It's for the right side of the screen, where it says publish, language, category. And I can just switch it off, just by put two how do you call it? Backslashes, two slashes before it, yes. And what you then do, you just add some new stuff like echo this form get label. And this form means the form object that's in memory of Joomla. And get label, it will get a label that's defined. For instance, of state, which is published. And if you are working in French, you will get the French equivalent of it. And with echo this form get input, it will put the input. So if your article is unpublished, it will echo the selection box with unpublished. The same you can do for the category. And if you have it like this, you have just the article edit with just two options, category and publish. So yeah, then it's easier. You don't have a note, version note, etc. If you don't need it, you can do it like this. The only issue with it, oh yeah, this is how I did it. So this is my article, and I only have these three. And it only says content, and all the other tabs I just switch off in options. This view is for everybody in the website. So even the super administrator will have this view like this. You could do something here that you load stuff only for certain user groups, but that's more difficult. So I already told you it's for everybody. It's a bit difficult. If you want to read more about templates and how to make overrides, etc., Mark de Chèvre wrote a nice article called Cassiopeia Template, a bunch of tricks and tips. And it's useful if you want to do stuff with template overrides. So the third thing you could do in content is use a content plugin. You can write it yourself. Actually, I wrote one, and you can download it for free on GitHub, PE7R plug content D8 form. It's just a basic plugin. What it does, it changes the form, but you have to do everything yourself. It's more persistent than a template override, because templates change over time sometimes. And you can just override options in the form. So you can make fields required if you like so. And I will show you in a demo. Finally, you can do something with a commercial extension. It's an extension that I developed with Sigrid Gramlinger from Austria. And we did it for Joomla 3, but the Joomla 4 version is better because it works with plugins. You can create edit profiles that are based on context, component, client, and view, and based on user groups, category and or language, so you can make selections. Just like you can use JCE editor, and you can assign it to certain views, groups, etc. We have a couple of those as well. You can define tabs, field sets, and you could choose some custom fields to show on certain fields. This is how you manage it. I will probably show you in a demo, a small part. And these are all the fields that I would like to show in certain places. It's a bit difficult to see, I think, but maybe when I show you on the screen it might be better. So my article will look like this. I have some text here on the left. I have my intro image here, and here all the create dates, like publish dates. I have a few like this. I can create it in Joomla with this plugin. So it's a system plugin with profile plugins and a component to manage the stuff. And now it only works for banners and content. We have a demo. You can see it in the sheet. So what I showed you here is to change the autumn template, to switch off options that you don't need, to use a custom content plugin, what I'll show you later, and also the commercial extension D2 profiles that we developed for Joomla 4. Let's do a demo. Or are there any questions already? Yeah?
It's from right at the beginning. It's a question from right at the beginning.
Yeah?
I might have got distracted.
Okay, go ahead.
Deleting modules at the marketing level. You said you would duplicate the modules on the dashboard at the title.
Yes.
Why not just change the level of them?
Well, if I would assign them to special, if I would assign the group to special, they also see other things that are for the special.
But the module,
yeah,
is it special?
Yes, currently it's special, but you can only assign one level. So
Does special not inherit everything that's in the ones below it?
Yeah, but the issue is my marketing level is under public and not under registered. So therefore it is. Yeah. So this is the really nice website of Initech, and they have a lot of information here about the products, etc., about the people who are working there. And this is the administrator. Now I'm logged into the administrator, and let's do some stuff. So what I showed you first is to create a new user group. So I can go to manage. You can see there's only one user, Peter, And now I go to groups, new, and I will call it marketing group. So I have marketing group that is under public. The next thing I do is I create a new access level, which is marketing level in my case. And I will assign the marketing group to that level. So I have a new group, marketing level, and only the marketing group is assigned to it. The next thing I will show is, let's first create a new user. The name will be marketing. His name, login is Mark. And Mark works at eTech, and I have to assign Mark to the marketing group. So what I do now, I will open a new window, a new browser I mean. In this browser I'm not logged in, so I'm going to the eTech. I log in as Mark. Oh. Oh yeah. I should read. Mark doesn't have access to the administrator login, and that's first I have to solve. Therefore, the error on top. So I just go to somewhere, options. It doesn't really matter. I go to system global configuration. There I want to end. And then permissions. In this case, the marketing group should have administrator login. That's it. I don't have even to save. In the past you had to save, but now it's already there, I hope. Fingers crossed. Yes. So he can log in, but now he doesn't have any permissions here. So the next thing I have to go to do is, he is administrator login. I will first go to the content, administrator modules. So there are two modules. It's title and toolbar. I just duplicate those. And this is a interesting feature in Joomla. When I copied it, it's now switched side. I created a pull request for this to in the administrator when you choose something. So I now have title and title, a toolbar, and I just changed it to published, and to instead of special, I assign the marketing level. And it's the same for the toolbar. It should be published marketing level. So I'm going back now, and he still doesn't have any permissions because I need to assign some stuff to it. So let's go to, oh yeah, something else. No, it's not here anymore. So yeah, the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna assign some permissions. So first I want to give them permissions for articles. So I'm in articles, I go to permissions, marketing group again, and they should be able to access the administrator interface. That's the first thing. I don't do anything with the create, delete, etc. because they only need to do it for one category. No, still not. Anyway, this. It's the same for if I go to the redirect component, redirects. permissions for the administrator group should be allowed, administrator interface. And in this case, they should be able to do everything with it. So, okay, oh, this should be able. The next thing I should do is I should create menus. So in menus, I go to manage, and I create a new, oh, sorry. First I have to select administrator, and then I create a new administrator menu, and I call it marketing menu. And here I have all these presets, and in this case I choose the components, the dashboard, and save and close. And there is nothing in it yet, except for the mod menus component. And now I think, no, they still don't have it. Anyway, let's add something to the marketing menu. Components. It should have more than one. I made a mistake somewhere. None, and I should say components dashboard. No, oh no, content dashboard, of course. So now I have the menu has been saved, and I have imported some presets. So if I open it, components, I don't need it. It was the first time I did it. And I don't need workflow, etc. So I will disable it. And if I go now, still not. I'm doing something wrong. You don't have permission to access this. So this is a demo. So I have the marketing group. Global configuration, the administrator login. The marketing group should be able to log in. It's doing like that. Then the other thing is content, articles, options. So they are allowed to access the interface for the marketing group, but show anything. If anybody knows what I'm doing wrong, then
Don't you need to have at least one choice in the menu to have it displayed?
oh, the module, admin module.
Yes.
Thank you, Yannick. So yeah. So the admin module, I just have to create a copy of it. And the copy is assigned to marketing level. Oh yeah, something what I did in the template, I created a small line that gives a green bar on top of the screen, so it's easier for me to see that I'm now in the doing something with the user. So I have these like articles, etc. And you can see I have all these like unpublished things. And I have not assigned access to special categories like news, so I cannot do anything with this user. So what I'm going to do in the backend, I'm going to go to categories. I go to news. And in news, I go to permissions. The group should be able to create new articles. In a news category, they should be able to delete it, edit the state, so published, unpublished, and also edit their own. Yeah, doesn't really matter. Oh, there's one I missed. Oh, not it should be allowed. So this is how it should be. So, and if I go back, you can see that some of those are now editable. like the printer has been fixed, the PC load letter had finally been fixed, they can now do stuff in this article. But the others are also there. So what I recommend, if you are in the category and you go to the administrator, the menus, the marketing menu, and if you go to articles here, you can select the category. In this case, I will select the news category. So I go back to Mark, and if Mark is on the home, at the content, articles, oh, it should show only list articles, news. I filtered on news, but I don't know why it. Yeah, it should only show the news. I'm doing something wrong now. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. The other thing I would like to show is the dashboard. It now has content, and I would like to give another thing here. So I go to content, administrator modules, and I will create a new module. It's the article latest. And this article latest should be not public, but the marketing level. And the position here should be cPanel. And then dashboard. That's the one that I created. And also it should be not any category, but only the news. So if I go to the other, I don't know what I'm doing wrong here, but it doesn't show it. Content. I have to look at the menus, marketing menu. Oh, I forgot to do it. I only showed it in the presentation. I should do it like here as well. So you first have to create a label. Like you can see it, marketing dashboard. I use upper and lower mixed. It doesn't really matter because Joomla should show. It might matter. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't work. I'm not sure. I configured something wrong when I started, and yeah, it's a bit difficult to look it up now. So I will just continue, and I will show you how to do something with a plugin. So I have articles, and I have this printer fixed thing. What if I would like to hide the featured state because they don't need it? So what you can do. Now I go to So here I am in a PHP Storm. I created a plugin called DB8 Form. You can download it on GitHub for free, and you can change it. So what it does, it's a content plugin, and it has this class, and that means content plugin. Called DB8 form, and here we have on content prepare form. So before the form of Joomla is shown on the screen, it does stuff that I program here. And what I do, I first ask for the name. If the name is com-content article, then I know that you are in the edit modus of com-content article. Furthermore, if you are part of a certain group, in this case, if you're part of the user groups, but I can also do marketing level, then it will do this part, which you can see here, if it's part of the group. And in this case, because I'm super admin and I will show it in a super admin, I can, for instance, say form set field attribute featured disabled, and that's true. So if I go, I have to go here, and I go to content articles. Oh, something else I forgot. First I should do discover, because I have created this component and now it's discovered. I should go to plugins and switch it on. So let's switch this off again. Now I go to content, articles, next one staplers. Oh, there's a small error, but anyway. Nou zeg. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong, but administrator system, plugins. Yeah, it's switched on. I'm not really in my editor. This is a preview function, so I cannot look into it, what's going wrong. But anyway, the node field should have an asterisk behind it, and I should be able to force to fill something in. Otherwise, I cannot save it. Or is it only working here? No, I'm not sure. I've done something wrong. Anyway, let's switch it off again. This one, yeah. So the other thing that I would like to show. Let's do it on another site. Okay, so this is the same site, but now I already configured some stuff in it. Oh. So the last thing I want to show is a component that I created. It's called D2 Profiles. If you go to profiles, I already have a marketing profile in it. Let's switch it off for a second. First, let's open a new tab where I go to an article. For instance, printer fixed. Oh yeah, what you can see here, by the way, because the plugin of my component is already on, it will show the intro image of all the images. Because that's what I liked. And I go to the printer fixed. So this is the current view, the Joomla view, and if I want to do it differently, for instance, I want to create a new view, import it from desktop, JoomlaDay. I have the marketing news, no, this one. So I just imported a new profile. It's called marketing profile. And what you can see here, it's assigned for the component articles. Client is administrator, view is article. I created a marketing tab with text, status and image. And I just added a couple of fields that I want to show there. And if I go to the articles, did I already? Yeah, it's already active. So if I do like this. So this is now the view made by the component. If I don't like the image here, but I want to have it here on the status column, I just go here and I go to the intro image and I just assign it to status and I move it a bit up like this. Save, refresh, and now it's in the middle column, but now the other thing is below it. So here you are really flexible in assigning how you would like to see your interface, and you can assign it by groups. So yeah, these are the things that you could do if you do it properly to the backend view for your users. I recommend to use it to only show what they need, only display what they need, because it's much easier for them, and yeah, they will work more easily with Joomla. So, are there any questions? Yes?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The demo is always like this. So yeah, thank you, because you advise to look with the view and the eye of the final user. I'm very convinced by the menu articulation, less by the content. In my situation, I have people that are working to push content into the website, and what I plan to do, and I would like to have your advice maybe on what you think about this idea, is to prepare forms where they only have to fill the fields they have to fill to produce an article.
Yeah.
So the idea is not to use the usual...
Okay. Should they be able to edit the articles afterwards? If not, then I would advise you to use a commercial extension called RS Form Pro, because then, yeah, you can just things they have into content. It's already a plugin for that.
Yeah, and I plan maybe to go, but yeah, the addition afterwards, if required,
Then you cannot edit it anymore. Or maybe with really difficult things you might be able to do it, but it's probably very difficult.
Most of the time they push news.
Yeah.
And I will probably not reshape the editor only for that.
Yeah. Okay. Other questions? No? Okay. Thank you for your attention.